It's time to get back to the basics. Oh yeah. Say it with me, Light Warriors. It's time to get back to the basics. Oh, nostalgia is a big energy theme right now because we're actually going back to our past so that we can exceed in our future. It's the great circle of life, Light Warriors. Future proves past. Hello everyone, I am Michael and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. Yeah, it is time to get back to the basics. You know, never forget where you came from. Yeah, where did you come from? Let us know in the comments. Never forget where you came from. You know, we're given life lessons throughout the journey that we go on, and we have to sometimes get back to the basics. And it's really important to do this. There's all different aspects as we go about our life. We can have neuroplasticity and doing new things and building new neural pathways in the brain. But then after you do that, it's time to get back to the basics. What are the things that got you to where you were today? Focus on that. And nostalgia is really playing a big role in the world right now. Are you feeling nostalgia? A lot of the things that maybe you liked when you were younger, you're called to revisit them. And you're going to have to revisit all these things. You know, we had a lot of imagination when we were children, and there was a lot of stories, right? A lot of things that we, experienced in our lives. And as we, move forward with our everyday life experience, we kind of felt maybe the magic go away. Maybe the magic has to come back. It's really important that we embrace the energy theme of nostalgia, and it's really important to embrace the theme of the inner child. There's an inner child inside of you, and that inner child, it knows. It knows what you need to do. It knows what's best for you, and you're just going to be floating downstream like a little ducky. Yeah, you just got to embrace your inner child right now. But nostalgia really is a very important theme in the world. And if you're feeling this right now, if you're called to, revisit things from the past, you're looking back, heck, even Super Mario Brothers is making a comeback bigger and better than ever before. And we have to go back and look at some of these things that we've experienced in our past and now see them through a new lens. And then all of a sudden you have a totally different story, Light Warriors. It's a totally different story. And that's what the growth is all about. You might have experienced things years ago when you were a kid, and maybe you didn't appreciate them at the time, or you didn't really understand what was going on. Now it's time to go back and embrace the inner child. That's why we're out here taking it all in and looking at that island that's back out there. I don't know if you could really make it out with the camera, but back out there, right over there, there's an island in this little salt marsh area. And when I was a boy, I used to come to this area, and I used to go to camp around here, and there was all these stories, right, about what is on that island that's back there, right? So in this area, there's a little waterway that goes all the way around, but in the middle, there is an island. And, I was so fascinated, my imagination would run wild and, hear all the stories about what's on the island. And, your imagination could take you anywhere, and, for this story to, develop, something had to cause this story that had all these people talk, what's on the island over there, So think about the things that you experienced when you were a kid. And you know what? Your imagination, it's time to let it run wild. And you could write it in the comments. It's time to allow the imagination to run wild, Light Warriors. Yeah, it's time to allow it to run wild. But that's the world that we are in right now. And you're going to have to dive into the past in order for us to exceed in our future. You know, in recent times, I've been diving into some of these older things you might be called for a brighter time, right? Remember the 80s, remember the 90s, remember how great it was, right? We're making these energies come back right now. It's almost like a loop. And you know what? When we think of time, when we think of a spiral, think about that beautiful spiral, Light Warriors, and it's spiraling round and round. A lot of people think about a straight line when it comes to time, but actually we're kind of looping back around in a spiral. Don't you feel the 90s coming back right now? Do you feel that 90s energy? Do you feel the 80s energy start to come back again? Well, that's the change that we are going through. And you know, it was darker times, and the darker times are trying to hold on, but we are diving back into the past. And you could feel it right now. And your inner child, you know, it wants to come forward right now. You feel the inner child ready to burst out. It's really important because that's who you truthfully are. As we, you know, go through our journey and, you know, people become an adult. Oh, you better grow up. Oh, yeah, you grow up. Tell these people to get out of your way. Your inner child is who you truthfully are. And the world has been changing so much. And it used to be so much better until a cult took over. But that's a story for another time, Light Warriors. But now we're going back to the past and revisit the past. And revisit the past with the open third eye, because people were leaving the breadcrumbs for you. Yeah. Whether they were in movies or video games, right? They left you the breadcrumbs, right? Where are those mushrooms so I could turn into Super Mario? Right? It's true. No, it's true. They were leaving us the breadcrumbs. And if you dive into these things, you could start to realize, oh, wow, there are things hidden in plain sight. So maybe there's something hidden on that island back there, hidden in plain sight. You could go and see the places. You might be living in a place, right? You might be around a place, and it's always there, and it was right in front of your face. That's what a lot of people, they're not understanding. Understanding or overstanding, right? The fifth dimension is right in front of your face. So we're going to have to open our eyes. We're going to have to wake up, observe the area, survey the area, Light Warriors, yeah. And you will find all of the answers. And sometimes you could find the answers to our future by diving into the past. If you find this message interesting and you would like to learn more about our reality in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, why don't you click subscribe, give the video a like so it becomes visible to more people, and please share with one other person, because when we all share with one other person, we will rapidly grow our 5D community. Yeah. Oh, this place, yeah. I remember when I come here, I always remember all the times when I started the channel. Are you new to our everyday lives? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat if you're watching on the live stream. Let us all know. And why don't you go to the channel page and check out some of these earlier videos. It's funny because I was here a long time ago when I spoke about the inner child. Future proves past. See the energy, right? You ever hear of the stone tape theory? Right? The energy lasts, right? And I could pick up these vibrations. And each and every one of you are able to pick up the vibrations of the past. You could pick up the vibrations of the future. And then you realize the craziest thing. Everything is now. Remember, we cannot control what is around us. However, we can control from within. Be conscious that you have to dive into the past to save our future. Use this to raise your vibration and increase your electromagnetism. Life is so much better when we are all together. If you find this message inspiring or know someone that could benefit from it, please share this message. Dear ones, I am Michael. Find us in the fifth dimension. Have a wonderful day living your everyday life. It's a beautiful life. You're just like two duckies just swimming along. That's all we're going to do, right? We're just hanging out. How you guys doing? Oh, I love it. I love coming out in nature. You know, it makes me feel alive again. I love being with all of you, but, you know, being out on the front line, feeling the energy, feeling the light of Christ, feeling the negative ions of the planet coming up, looking at the ducks ducking along. Do you see the ducks ducking along? No, you got to get out of nature, get out of the box, right? Get away from the matrix, get away from it all. Just come out in nature and find yourself. You think they care what's going on? Do you guys care about fake news? Guys? Do you watch fake news, guys? You got to have a good time. You got to laugh. You got to pick up your vibrational frequency. And that's what coming out does for all of you. Remember back when you were a child. Remember the great things, your inner child. Well, that's who you truthfully are. You know, it's cold out here, but I feel so great, right? I could almost feel like I'm under a palm tree, or so maybe a palm tree will magically appear. You never know. I could come across in any dimension. It lasts the test of time. I am the defender of our everyday lives. Victory of the light. Yeah. Oh yeah. What are the things that you love? What brings your nostalgia? What makes your heart skip a beat? Let us know in the comments, Light Warriors. And if you're new to this, why don't you subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, smash the like button, all those wonderful things. We are growing exponentially. We're going to be at 100,000 Light Warriors very soon, and it's because of all of you. I'm grateful for all of you. You guys all make me feel like a kid again. It's true.